Mobile. We're located at 558 St. Francis Street, just a block up from Winsel's. And our phone number is 251 255 5155. Our website is CannaBama.com. And of course, you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, all the things under Sweet Home CannaBama as well. And if you would like to follow me personally, you can find me Jennifer Isabel, Isbell, Boozer, Boozer. So let's get into it. I want you to go ahead and share this broadcast and tag 3 people in the comments for a chance to win over $200 in products from tonight's show from the Elevated Table and Boro Hemp. You can get your choice of 3 products to use to bake at home. So go ahead and like the post, share it, and tag 3 friends for a chance to win. We've been giving away product Friday, Saturday. We've been giving it away. Boro Hemp has been giving it away as well. And we want to get this line launched properly. So we appreciate everybody's support. I just want to say tonight, my 10-year clean anniversary. I know most of you know I am in recovery from a 10-year-long opioid addiction. So as of Friday, I will have been clean as long as I used. And I don't know about you, but if you're in recovery, I know you know that certain days, 5 years, 10 years, that's a big deal. I tell people all the time that my clean date anniversary is more important to me than my birthday because I didn't ask to be born, but it took a whole lot of hard work to get and stay clean. And we're going to celebrate that this week. And if you are out there and you are struggling with addiction, or you have a family member who is struggling with addiction and you're not sure where to turn, you've tried everything except cannabis, I hope that you'll reach out to me and let me know how I can help you or your loved one deal with that addiction. It can be done, and we do recover. I am living proof. If you had told me that I would be a business owner, a radio host, a published author, a lobbyist, any of those things, any one of those things 10 years ago, I would never have believed you. And God is good. He delivered me from that addiction, and he gave me the skills and the talents I needed. I was always this person, even in my darkest hour, I was always this capable. And I want to encourage you. There is life outside of that. I'm living proof. And if I can do anything at all to help you get there, I am more than willing, able, and ready. So get in touch with me. You can email me, Jennifer@CannaBama.com anytime. Reach out to me on social media. Come down and see me. But yes, CannaBama is there for you if you are looking for an alternative and you're tired of that addiction lifestyle, because it is exhausting. Tonight, I want to go ahead and get into our topic. I want to introduce to you somebody very special to me. Stacey Hamilton is the co-founder of Boro Hemp. She is the creator of the Elevated Table Pantry product line and the author of the Elevated Table cookbook. I'm so thrilled to have her here because I admire her greatly. She's a fellow entrepreneur, a culinary innovator, and an advocate for the hemp industry. She's as passionate as me. And so she's here to talk about her new project, the Elevated Table Cookbook, and her journey behind creating a one-of-a-kind culinary experience. Stacey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to take a minute and say congratulations, because that is one hell of an anniversary. I'm proud of you. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm proud of me too. And that's what's most important.
It's just so nice to share this moment in this past weekend and getting to share the launch of the Elevated Table, CannaBama being the very first store to have it in the United States, and just the excitement over it. It's just nice to have another powerful woman in the industry that we can connect and help each other.
I agree, so wholeheartedly agree. And I wish more of our neighbors in Alabama felt the same, but that's okay. We got our tiny little group, and we're going to keep plugging forward for the people of Alabama, right?
Right.
All right. So, Stacey, your cookbook, The Elevated Table, isn't just a collection of recipes. It represents so much more than that. Can you tell us what made this book special and why you felt the need to create it?
So the elevated table combines my love of two things, cannabis and cooking. There's over 101 recipes in the cookbook from all over the world, and they all utilize our elevated table pantry line. We have canna butter, honey, cooking oils. But it's more than just a cookbook to me. It's a call to action. It's a cry for help and a demonstration of resilience. By supporting this book, people are directly helping us fight to keep hemp products available for everyone who needs them.
That's a powerful statement, and I do agree. Everything that we do to move the needle forward is powerful and important, especially in a state like Alabama. And speaking of resilience, I know you've been through a tough legal battle with the Alabama Department of Health since 2020. Tell us about the challenges you faced and the climb back up to where you are today. We've talked about this so much, but it's so good to hear it from you because you're the one who has had to do this day in and day out all this time.
This has been a challenging, definitely very challenging couple of years for us. In January of 2022, the Alabama Department of Health came into our facility and they issued cease and desist orders and told us that we had to destroy all of our products that were edible. It was heartbreaking and it nearly bankrupted us. We immediately appealed the decision, realized that we weren't going to get any satisfaction from trying to go through their system. So we made the very tough decision to file a lawsuit against the state. That was a rough one. We
Hmm.
were granted an emergency injunction immediately, and then we won at the circuit court level, and the Department of Health in Alabama has now filed an appeal, and we're still trying to navigate our way through that. It's a little frustrating, but I mean, this is what the cookbook and the pantry line were born of, part of a strategy to help raise funds to keep fighting. And I think I, myself, and my employees have just been very demoralized by this whole thing. It's been very painful. And this is kind of a phoenix rising kind of moment.
Right. I mean, I know that most people that are listening that are in our industry can relate to the constant threat of federal legislation, state rules, the stigma. There's so many obstacles, even banking, in this industry. And I think it takes a level of passion and commitment to be able to stick it out. I know for me, if I didn't love what I do as much as I do, y'all, I would be at the house. I would go work at the Walmart. I don't know. This is hard, but because I know it's important, and I know you feel the same way, Stacey, because we know the value we have to give the people in our communities. You can't not fight. Do you? I know you feel that way.
I absolutely feel that way, and it's something that's so near and dear to my heart. And this is about lifting people up and empowering people. And this fight has just been such a challenge. And my employees, God bless them, they have stood behind me and fought for me. And I've had such amazing, courageous people as you standing with me and your support. I'm so grateful for it. CannaBama's belief in this project has helped kind of galvanize me and keep pushing me forward.
Well, I know we have spent many a conversation through text and on the phone, both of us just bawling. And, I don't know why I initially kind of this has been such a big deal. I think I know I have a deep need for truth and justice in my heart. And I love people. And I see just trying to do what I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
and they're picking on you, and that just enraged me, and it made me want to go to the mattresses, as they say, alongside you, because this isn't okay. And this is happening in other states too, where the state government, the governors, the health departments are really sowing their wild oats and trying to end run their lack of legislation, and to see them just be able to get away with that, it's infuriating, because you and I both know that they are doing this to set a precedent so that they can have something on paper that says they're allowed to come in and do it to the rest of us. And that's a terrible situation. When we come back from the break in just a minute, I want to get into the cookbook, but tell me a little bit about what you guys are facing. I mean, tell them what the state said that they would appeal. Tell them what the state said about appealing.
I'm some reference.
When they said that they were going, well, first of all, they were going to wait for the outcome of what happened in your case to see if they could go after anybody
Okay.
else.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
So they're
no, that's
not
okay.
they're not going to enforce against anyone else until they see if they win. We have been
Okay.
singled out.
All right. When we come back from the break, we're going to pick up right there with Stacey Hamilton.
There we go. He brought you back in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Jennifer Boozer. We are here on Sweet Home CannaBama every night, every Monday night, not every night, every Monday night at 7 o'clock, right here on FM Talk 106.5. We're live on the Gulf Coast. We're also live streaming from all of our social media pages. And if you will go ahead and share this and tag 3 friends, you will be in the drawing for over $200 in free product from the broadcast from Elevated Table. Stacey Hamilton from Boro Hemp is on the show tonight. Stacey, let's get into this cookbook. I think it's awesome how you're using this cookbook called The Elevated Table, available on Amazon right now, as a way to empower people while empowering yourself. Like you said, you created this product line as kind of a phoenix rising from the ashes situation once this court case was won. And at CannaBama, we're so proud to be the first store to carry the Elevated Table products. You have no idea how proud that makes me. It's women supporting women and small business supporting small business, Alabama supporting Alabama. And I love that we're in this together.
100%. The cookbook was so much fun to put together, but the one thing when you're making cannabis products at home, any type of edibles, it's always a guess. You have no idea how much you're actually putting in it. And that always bothered me. I've cooked with cannabis for years, but breaking it down and trying to figure out exactly what was what. And the cookbook has all of that broken down for you. All of our products are 31 milligrams per tablespoon. So it's really easy to calculate how much is this recipe that I'm cooking and how much is each serving. And it all goes to the benefit of helping us fight to keep these products available and on the market for all of Alabama.
Right. And you know, we're always the brunt of this new argument about public safety, because we're disrupting the big giant state-run cartel programs by being a free market and being federally legal. And now we're cramping people's style, but the consumers, the citizens, are the ones we're concerned with. So we're not worried about millionaire tiers. We're worried about the people in our community. And this is so simplified because you're right. When you go, I tell people all the time, you can buy this shelf stable butter, or you can buy an ounce, take it home, decarboxylate it in the oven if you know how to do that correctly. There's many ways to mess this up. And the double boiler for 2 hours. And then you're right. Who knows how much THC is going to be in every crumb? You know, you don't want to eat, and you don't want to eat the corner of a brownie and get so high that you can't function. That's typically why a lot of people are afraid of edibles. So this line to me is encouraging because it will make people feel more comfortable to try cooking with cannabis, which we both know is super fun.
It really is.
Yeah, and I mean the combinations are endless. Let's talk about the products themselves. You mentioned a couple of them earlier. Let's see. You've got I'm trying to memorize them. You've got sugar, brown sugar,
Yes.
a brownie mix that you just do eggs, oil, water, and boom, it's done. There is olive oil, baking oil, corn syrup, simple syrup, butter, peanut butter, chocolate syrup, caramel syrup, and honey. Did I get it all right?
You got them all. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, by the way, that prize for sharing and tagging is going to be your choice of any 3 elevated table products worth around $200 total. So get excited. I'd say that hemp products, there's nothing like this on the market, correct?
There is not. When we were doing our market research to figure out what pricing we should do, you never want to go too high, you never want to go too low.
Right. You want to be competitive.
There were products that we were launching that didn't have any comparison, not in the hemp or the cannabis market. It was really cool.
Right. Now, and I've seen people post about making sugar and making butter. I would never try to do the sugar. That just seems so complicated. And there's even groups for people who do infused freeze-dried stuff. But I haven't ever seen, I've seen some products that you could use, and we have our tricks too, but those are using products from manufacturers that we have available to us that aren't always for public consumption usage. But these are a simplified version. Anybody who, even if you don't have any real cooking experience, I think would be able to do this. Would you say that?
I absolutely would. I mean, a lot of the recipes are very, very simple. The bacon is my favorite. That's the very first one in the book, or close to the first one in the book. So yeah, it's very simple and easy.
Infused bacon?
Yeah, it's brown sugar bacon.
Ooh, now see, ooh. I haven't seen that yet.
I had to take a nap.
Well, I'm sure. And this is also, and by the way, if your recipe calls for 2 cups of peanut butter, but you only want X amount of milligrams from the infused peanut butter, you just substitute, 2 tablespoons of the infused peanut butter into the 2 cups of regular peanut butter in order to get your ratios right and make sure that you're not getting too much THC. And honestly, there's no reason for you to use that much of that peanut butter unless you're trying to put down a block of people.
An elephant.
Yeah. Possibly a herd of elephants. Yes. Okay, well, Stacey, what would you say to our listeners who may not know much about hemp products or the importance of keeping them accessible? I really want to emphasize this. What would you say is important about keeping them accessible?
So, I just came from the oncologist today, and I'm going to say this without crying, but
it's okay.
I learned that for the rest of my life, I will be under the care of an oncologist. The news was definitely not as bad as it could have been, but it didn't make me happy. So,
I'm so sorry.
I deal with a lot of pain every single day. Every day, and cannabis and hemp products help me get through the day and to feel like an empowered woman who can get out there and fight and kick. And I know there are so many of my customers who are the exact same way. They rely on these products so heavily to stay off of narcotics. And I mean, the opioid addiction in this country, you understand more than even probably I do, how important it is to keep these products available and help these people have an alternative, something that's not as dangerous as or as addictive as a
Right.
narcotic.
Well, and to freedom of choice, it sort of goes hand in hand with this. The fact that we do have the ability to say, you know what, I don't want to. If you're in recovery like me, or if I know a lot of people that pain pills make them sick and they cannot use them, but they can use something natural. And I think it's important that people have the option to say, I don't want that risk. I don't want what it does to my gut, my brain,
Your
the
liver, your
inflammation
poor
that it
liver.
causes. Right. And your liver. That's exactly right. It is a miracle that my organs are not damaged. Honestly, it's a miracle. And God is good. And cannabis has helped me. I have been a chronic pain patient since I was 16, diagnosed with juvenile arthritis and migraines. So I identify every day I have pain. And if I did not have my products, I would be eating ibuprofen. I would be doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And that's just not going to work. People don't remember that when you take something for a body part or a symptom, it affects every cell in their body. And that matters. It matters because it does so much unknown damage. Do your research. Um, for anyone interested in purchasing the Elevated Table cookbook, we're thrilled to say that CannaBama is carrying all of these products. And the book is more than just a guide to infused cooking, it's a movement. And Stacey, you are leading the charge. I think that the cookbook is probably the best component of the product line because it gives people a guide. So many times people struggle to have a good experience with products because they don't have enough in-depth information. So tell us a little bit about what they're going to find in these recipes as far as guidance.
So every single recipe tells you exactly how much THC, if you used everything that was infused or could be infused in the recipe, it'll tell you exactly how much THC is in the entire recipe and then how much per serving. And then there's a chart in there that breaks it down by pantry item to tell you exactly how much you're getting. And I do think it's maybe my blonde roots, but I felt like it was important for everything to be the same so people could
Yes.
easily calculate it. And as close as I could get was 31, and that was perfect to me. So
Yeah.
it's so easy to be able to calculate for yourself even if you're not using recipes out of the cookbook, which by the way, the cookbook is free on Amazon today and tomorrow. So please get your copy and give me a lovely review.
Yes, give her a review. This is part of supporting a new movement is we need whether you have a store like me or a product line like her, you got to have those Google reviews with the book. I remember when we launched Scourge and Cannabis, the whole push to get people to give reviews because that's how Amazon determines your value. That's how Google determines your value. And so we want to ask for help on those. So go to Amazon or Google the Elevated Table, leave them a review. They are also doing product giveaways. So there's tons of ways that you can get in here. You can also just come on down and pay for your product at CannaBama if you want to. And on Munchie Monday, which is every Monday since day one, on Munchie Monday, edibles are always 10% off. So every Monday, you can come in and get 10% off of Elevated Table products, no matter if we're having a special or not. That is Munchie Monday, Topical Tuesday, Wash Up Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Flower Friday, and sometimes we have Super Saturday like we did this weekend and giving away these products. So, tell me one of your other favorite recipes real quick. Wait, sorry, we got to go to break. We'll be right back. Hold that thought. Just
It's like the music. There's no music. Hold on. You're on. Hold on. Just pretend you're looking.
time to go.
No, not yet. All right, you're on.
Welcome back. Tonight we're talking with Stacey Hamilton, co-founder of Boro Hemp right here in Gadsden, Alabama, and the creator of the Elevated Table product line, which is infused pantry items that you can use to cook your favorite recipes. And she is the author of the Elevated Table cookbook, which is 101 recipes using these items if you don't have any clue to how to use them on your own. Stacey, what do you have a favorite product?
Oh, I have to say, I love the butter. I love the butter and the honey.
Okay. Well, I think, what was it? Leanne or somebody today said that she put the butter in her hot chocolate and it
Oh,
was so yum.
The caramel syrup she put in her hot chocolate and caramel
Okay.
syrup.
Yeah, my daughter is nuts about some caramel syrup with her Starbucks. So I haven't had it myself, but I imagine it sounds good. I do love a good mocha. So the chocolate syrup, I'm excited. We don't have the chocolate syrup, caramel syrup, and honey till this coming week. But that's the one I'm looking forward to the most is the chocolate syrup. Even though I quit sugar about 3 months ago, I'm going to break my habit for that. Let's talk about the simple syrup. Because that one to me is one of the most versatile things. What was your intention for people to use the simple syrup for? Because I don't have simple syrup at home. I know that's kind of a culinary term. So let's talk about that. What do we use simple syrup for?
You can use simple syrup for any kind of drink. That was probably my main intention for it. You can put it in coffee, you can put it in tea, you can make can of cocktails with it, which is my favorite thing, and you can even make iced tea with it.
Right. Any kind of drink that needs a little sweetness and a little THC, right?
Right. And our simple syrup has a hint of honey flavor with it, and it just it's really, really, really good in my opinion. And I can put it in anything. You know, I can make myself, a glass of water and put some in there, put a squeeze of lemon in there, just whatever. And I can dose it exactly how much I want to and not have to worry. There are times during the day I just need something to take the edge off.
Right.
So
you need 5 or 10 milligrams. You can use a smaller serving and get just what you need for the moment.
Yes.
That is so awesome. What about starter recipes? I know I'm pretty good in the kitchen. I know you are, but some people aren't. Or they've never, the thought of an infused cooking scenario is a little bit scary because, like I said, I would never make butter myself. I know what the process looks like and smells like and tastes like, and I would never do that. This stuff doesn't taste like weed, correct?
No, it has no weed taste whatsoever, and it actually makes it a little bit dangerous because you have no warning.
Right.
It's just butter.
Right.
And the sugar is the same thing. It just, there's no aftertaste, no nothing. You don't get even a hint of it. So it's
Right.
amazing. And our products are water soluble, which is very nice. The products that's suitable for, like the simple syrup and the sugars.
Yes.
To, but while there's so many easy tips and tricks in the cookbook that kind of break things down for you, when there was places, when I had extra space, I definitely gave recommendations, because I do realize there are a lot of people who don't. My daughter yelled at me for so many years about writing a cookbook. Y'all would not believe the hell she gave me. She's like, "Do you not own a measuring utensil, Mom?"
Right. Now I measure with my heart. I'm from Louisiana. And some will say I season until the ancestors say stop.
Yes.
Right. So this is simplified though, and you do make suggestions for people who are either not proficient at cooking or are intimidated by this infused factor. You've made it as simple as possible, correct?
I definitely have. There's a lot of really easy, really simple recipes in there that you can follow very easily, that graduates up to some more complex meat pies and that type of thing. They're a little bit more complicated, but there's lots of recipes in there that would give you lots of different ideas of easy things to make.
That's so cool. Okay, so you guys are shooting content right now for a TV show, correct?
Yes, the elevated table will be on Weed and Whiskey TV and on Citizen Green, as will you.
Yes, I let it slip last week that Sweet Home CannaBama will be a show on Citizen Green Weed and Whiskey TV. That is available on Roku, Apple TV, I think Amazon Fire Stick, and they're adding more as they go. And it's this huge new platform. They're going to have a ton of cannabis content, educational, informational, news, all that good stuff. So what are you guys doing for your show?
We'll be doing a cooking show. So we'll be able to do lots of demonstrations. We're going to do most of, if not all of, the recipes in the cookbook, as well as sprinkling in just some family traditions.
Yes.
One of the recipes in the cookbook, monkey bread. My son, I think he traumatized me. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to make that with canna infused." And I'm like, that hurts my heart.
Yeah.
It was our favorite thing to make when he was little.
It's your own kids most of the time, I find. Mine's over here laughing. Well, okay, so I want to announce I talked to Tyler and we haven't confirmed any dates or anything, but we are planning on having a cooking class ourselves here at CannaBama. It will be something we haven't done before. All of our classes up to now have been free. This one will cost, but you'll be provided all of the groceries required, the infusible products that we're going to use, and it will be the elevated table products. And we will have a professional chef who will give you a demo, let you cook along with him, and you get to take it home. And so it'll be a once in a lifetime opportunity to get in there and learn how to simply infuse with these products. If you're intimidated to do it on your own, or you just want to have a good time and come and make some holiday recipes, we're planning that for early December. I'll have a date by next week to confirm and a location, but that's something we want to do. We want to get in there in the kitchen, get our hands dirty, and teach people how super easy this is, and have our own content right alongside yours that we can help show that we'll put our own stank on it at CannaBama. How about that?
I love it. That's so exciting.
Yes. So I might even break out some Cajun recipes or something. We might make some infused pralines. I don't know. I'll have to come up with something cool.
I'm gonna need to sample those.
I know. Well, yeah. And dude, I have burned myself to the bone on my hand before making pralines, so I have a little trauma, but I'm willing to try one more time. my husband at the time was helping me pour the pralines onto the wax paper, and his scooper went onto my hand, and it was boiling hot sugar and butter. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. But I'm willing to get in the kitchen with pralines again if I could have an infused one. So I think that might be something we have to do now. So tell us about some of the other products that you make. I know we've been focused on the elevated table, but Boro Hemp is so much more than that. And I want to give you an opportunity to let people know what else you guys are making for sale here in Alabama and in several states.
So one of my proudest lines that we came out with were ailment-specific capsules. So they speak directly to whatever issue you're having, and there's a ton of research, and I actually have a database with that research, and that helped make the decision on what cannabinoids and what terpenes blended well to help with what. So when you don't know, you at
Right.
least have some direction, and you have some viable advice there. This will help, may help with this, may help with that.
Right.
Our gummies are amazing. They don't have any artificial colors in them, and they're just really meaty and nice, and just love their texture. And our caramels are to die for.
Yes, we are big caramel fans, and I think it's time we switch to the Boro hemp. I've carried this one product line with caramels for years, since the beginning. But I think maybe we should have Alabama caramels in our store now. So I would love to. I mean, I'm waiting on that caramel sauce. If it's as good as what you said those caramels are, I can't wait. What about do you guys sell vape products?
We do have several, and we have terpene specific vape products, and we also have the same type of ailment specific. We have tranquility to help you relax, where we've blended those terpenes together that we know they're going to create that feeling of relaxation for you. You know, and I know that strains are so bastardized at this point, who knows what's what anymore.
Right.
But I know terpenes, and I know what terpene does what. And so we combine those we have Awaken, which will help kill your appetite and give you a lot of energy. We have hibernation for sleep, and we have relief for pain. And those are our proprietary terpene blends.
Well, can you tell us where those are available? Because I'm sure once people get this elevated table stuff, they're gonna realize how great the quality is. We know, and everybody at 420, we gave away so much Boro hemp at 420. They know, and so where can people find the whole entire line of Boro hemp products?
Borohemp.com. BOROHEMP.com.
Boro hemp. Okay, so you guys can check out borohemp.com. You can follow them on social media. Also, go and follow the Elevated Table. And like we said, give those Google and Amazon reviews. If you haven't tagged 3 people, you got to do it right now, because on this next commercial break, we're drawing names. We have about 1 minute. So if you haven't tagged 3 friends and shared this broadcast, get that in right now, because we're going to be giving away $200 worth of Boro hemp products from the Elevated Table line. Stacey, how cool has it been to give the products away? I love giving free stuff away.
I've really, really enjoyed it, and the contests and over the weekend, and the polls, and just interacting with people and hearing how excited they were, and as they were thumbing through the cookbook, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I think that's my favorite part about what I do, is that interaction every day. And I know that you guys do it differently because you're selling to retailers and you don't interface with the public nearly as much as we do. That's my favorite part, is hearing from the public interacting. So I'm glad you got to experience that. When we come back from the break, we are going to draw for a free prize worth $200. And we're going to finish up with Stacey about the Elevated Table Pantry product line. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to Sweet Home CannaBama. I'm your host, Jennifer Boozer. Tonight, we've been talking with Stacey Hamilton. She is the co-founder of Boro Hemp in Gadsden, Alabama. They are a hemp product processing company, and they're the ones we always talk about that have been bullied for more than 2 years by the Alabama State Health Department, and they beat them in court. Stacey, what is in the future for Boro Hemp? I mean, you guys are still facing this appeal, but besides that, what are you looking forward to?
So I'm actually looking forward to start my next cookbook. To be honest with you, we're going to come out with a whole lot of different cookbooks, and that's really speaks to my heart. We're going to come out with different cookie mixes, and everything that we're doing is an effort to raise funds to continue with this fight for as long as we can. So every dime goes to help pay our legal bills and keep us on our feet and keep moving forward. But the new cookie mixes, anybody has any suggestions for our next cookie mix will come out actually in a few days, November.
Oh, wow. Well, that was my next question. Are there any plans to add more products to this product line?
Yes, we're definitely going to add a cookie mix a month. That's a definite. And we're looking at expanding our simple syrup line. We're working with a couple of bars and how we would do that if that's a wise thing for us. So I'd love anybody's opinion that would like to share it, that has some expertise or thought on that.
Would that be like sort of like what they call bitters, where you get different flavors? They're things that you add to alcohol or not to flavor it a certain way to make it taste like an Arnold Palmer or a Long Island iced tea, whatever they use. I'm not an alcohol expert. Obviously, I'm probably embarrassing myself. Even though my last name is Boozer, I am not an alcohol person. But is it something like that where you want to have different flavored things that you can mix and make mocktails with?
Yes. Yeah. So lemon and ginger is my favorite. That's one of my go-tos. And I love citrus. And so a lot of different, and especially as the seasons change, you want hot drinks, you want different types of drinks. But many bartenders prefer to do their own simple syrup. So I'm wrestling with the idea, do we want to come out with our own flavors and our own flair, or do we want to let bartenders do what bartenders do better than us?
Well, if I could make a suggestion from the consumer standpoint, I think that yes, bartenders probably like to make their own, but the average consumer at home may not be so sophisticated. And I think having at least a couple of options that are flavored would probably be smart, and let us know in the comments what you guys think about any of this. You want cookie mix suggestions, simple syrup flavors, any other products that, hey, I use this to bake with all the time. Maybe this needs to be infused. Give us some ideas. We'll definitely give them to Stacey and see what she can do with them, right?
That sounds awesome.
Also, I asked you this yesterday. I hope it's okay to ask you this again, but are you guys going to be coming out with a single serving type of maybe a tear open like squeezy packet or individual serving sizes where you could get like a 10 count of single serving chocolate syrup or caramel syrup or honey to use on it's for people who really want it either to be convenient, want to be able to share it at random. Because like I want to open these bottles and try them, but I also don't want to waste a whole bottle by opening it and trying it. Are you planning on doing more individual serving sizes for food trucks and restaurants could even use those?
Yes, we are looking at that. Most states have gone with child safety restrictions, so it has to be child resistant packaging. And that's kind of the challenge we're facing with the individual. By the time you pay for the child safety packaging, it's no longer cost effective. But we are in search of something that we could use to do something like that. And I think our sales manager actually has found some pouches that are child resistant that might be within our budget and still keep our prices low enough to help with that.
I would just like to point out to the audience what you just said and how important that is, because speaking of legislation and speaking of what the health department did to you guys, now the big thing is we're a public safety hazard. And I want you guys to remember that right here, out of the blue, unrehearsed, I asked her, and her answer was, as soon as we can find the proper packaging that is child resistant. We don't want to sell to children. We don't want kids to sneak it out of their mom's purse and get it like they do alcohol or nicotine or anything. That is not what anyone in this industry wants. Am I right, Stacey?
You're 100% correct. 100%. And even before child resistant packaging was required, we already did it. Because
Exactly.
hemp isn't going to hurt a kid. I mean, not in reality, but it will
Right.
really mess them up and they can cause themselves to get hurt.
Right.
And it's irresponsible not to take, because it takes a village. We have to do
Right.
our parts and parents have to do theirs.
It's amazing because, prescription bottles are supposed to be child resistant. Alcohol's not. They say you can only buy it in certain establishments that are 21 and up, but you can walk into a gas station as a 5-year-old and there's beer, nicotine, cannabis products that who knows what they have. I mean, that's the real culprit, is the ability for kids to walk into an establishment that doesn't have any kind of restrictions and no one's watching them. And let's just face it, that 90% of that happens in gas stations. And there's not enough manpower on the planet to regulate that and to enforce that, which is why we do want to be regulated. We don't want to be over-regulated, but we want to have rules. And I'm glad that you said that about child-resistant packaging, because it just highlights everything that the health department tried to say was wrong with what you're doing. You were already trying to protect people from it. You were already doing what was ethically, morally right. You were already putting those protections in place. And that is where most of us are. We are not trying to allow kids to get products that they don't need and shouldn't have. There is no regulation. I jokingly tell people, if I wanted to blaze up a pre-roll with a 5-year-old in front of a cop, there's not a law on the books that says I can't do that. Would I? Never. But there's not a law. But they cannot continue to claim they're unregulated, it's the wild, wild west, and then not have a discussion. I know the Mullins lobby firm and I have been trying to reach out to Alabama legislators in the House and the Senate, and no one will even respond. So the next time you hear someone claim we're unregulated and unsafe, y'all remember that. Stacey, I just want to say before the show is over, thank you so much for sharing your story and for reminding us all of the power of resilience and community support. Everyone, be sure to pick up a copy of the Elevated Table Cookbook on Amazon. Leave them a review. And I have a winner for our giveaway, and that will be going to Kimberly Grissett, Grissett. If that is you, send us a message. You can come by and pick up those products as early as tomorrow, or if you are not in the Mobile area, we will ship those out to you. Stacey, I want to say thank you again for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime. Yes, girl power. Okay, guys, join us every Monday night at 7 p.m. live here on FM Talk 106.5 across the Gulf Coast. That's Florida Panhandle, Alabama Gulf Coast, and part of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We are here every Monday night. We are the only cannabis FM talk show in the country. So we appreciate you listening, and we will now be on TV very soon. Next week, we're going to start our Veterans Issues Month. We're going to have John and Kara Grady from Missouri on the show from Slap Happy Hemp Company. So pray for our country. Pray that we get a fair election, because y'all, I'm hearing some crazy stuff. God bless the United States. God bless you. We'll see you next week. And also, if you want to try these Elevated Table products, because I prematurely tried to end the show, I'm a professional. You can find those. We are open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 7, Friday and Saturday from 10 to 8, and Sunday from noon to 5. You can go to CannaBama.com. We don't even have them up on the website yet, but we got that in the works. And you can go to BoroHemp.com anytime you want to buy directly from them. And as always, go and give them the support and the reviews. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next week on Sweet Home CannaBama.